Hi everybody, it's Ingrid again, and I'm wondering if you know where we are today. So maybe if we pan a little bit, you'll get a little view of West Park. So that's where we are. West Park is over on my side of town, so a little bit more on the west side of town. The YMCA is right near here, and my house is not far from here. It's a beautiful fall day, although it's a little chilly, and that's why I'm wearing a fleece. I've got my headband, I've got my gloves, and I'm already wearing my walking / hiking shoes. And a reason for that is because I've actually worn out my running shoes just by all the walking that I've done the past few months. So I've got new running shoes, walking shoes on order, but I'm wearing my my good shoes that have got a nice tread. So that actually might be something that you would consider looking at, is when you're out and about walking, are you in good solid shoes that make you feel like you're well balanced? So that might be something to look at. Is the bottom of your shoes still fit properly? Do you have good tread, especially when you're going outside to walk still? So, and just keep in mind it is getting cooler, so you might need your gloves. You might need something to wear over your head to keep your ears warm, keep your head warm, because we do lose a lot of heat through our head. And I'm always encouraging you to get outside, enjoy the beautiful weather while we can. And I'm also always encouraging you to drink water when you get a chance, and maybe even before you feel thirsty. So maybe you take a cup of water and you have that before you do exercise, and then also after exercise class. So keep yourself well hydrated. Actually, I've been sitting here now for a little bit, and I'm already a little warmed up just from the sun, so I'm going to take my my jacket off here. And I've got this beautiful oak tree as my backdrop. So we're going to focus a little bit more on lower body today, and we'll do a head to toe warm up, and then I'll actually get up out of the chair to do some exercises specifically targeting our leg strength and a little bit of balance. But if you don't feel like you're comfortable, or you don't feel like getting up out of the chair, that's fine. You can continue to do things in the chair. So for example, if we're standing up and I'm doing some leg lifts, feel free to continue to do leg lifts in the chair. So if I'm doing some other exercise where I'm bringing the leg to the side but I'm standing, feel free to stay sitting and do the exercises sitting, but continuously moving your legs, so continuously strengthening your legs. Good. So I'm sitting in a chair today. Normally I have one that doesn't have the armrest, but this is what I have today. It was easy to take to the park. And so you feel free to use whatever chair you're comfortable in. It could be one that has an armrest. It could be that you're sitting on the couch. Wherever you're sitting, slide more to the front of that chair so that you say goodbye to the back, meaning that you're now engaging your core strength to keep you upright throughout all of the exercise. And I also always emphasize with you good posture, because the more we practice that good posture, the more you're going to stay aligned. When you start to slouch forward and the shoulders hunch forward and you stay in that position, you'll end up, your body starts to tighten up. So all the muscles in front start to tighten up. What you want to do is bring those shoulders back. So let's try that. Lifting the shoulders, bringing them back, and then setting them down. So during the course of your day, think posture, think of that good alignment of the ears, over the shoulders, over the hips when you're sitting. Good. All right. So from this nice seated position with good posture, let's work on head and neck. And I apologize, I'm still wearing sunglasses, it's still very sunny. So I'm going to tilt the head to the side, ear towards the shoulder to get a nice stretch in the side of the neck. Feel free to lay your hand on your head to accentuate that stretch a little bit. And the whole time you're inhaling and exhaling, not holding your breath. And you're also working at your own pace. So ear towards the other shoulder. So if I'm doing something that you're not comfortable with, or I'm doing it too quickly, then go at your own pace and only do the parts that you enjoy doing and what feels comfortable for your body. So always listening to your body. Then let's take the chin and lower it towards the chest. Feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good, bring the head back to neutral. And now I'm going to tilt my chin towards the sky. And you will be tilting your chin towards the ceiling. From here, let's open and then close the mouth. When you close the mouth, you feel that stretch in the front of the neck. So feel free to open and close the mouth. And maybe move the lower jaw side to side. So really explore stretching the front of the neck. Good. And then let's go ahead and rotate slowly to one direction. So we're circling. And then we'll circle in the other direction. Good. Let's work on the hands. So I'm going to make a fist and then extend those fingers. And again, make a fist and extend those fingers. Good. Let's wiggle the fingers. From here, move into the wrists. So rotating through the wrists in one direction and then the other. Good, let's extend the arms, palms up and then palms down. Let's bring the arms out to the side. Again, palms up. Good, hold that position and palms down. Just having the arms out to the side like this is going to fatigue your shoulders without adding any weights. Again, palms up and palms down. In another video, we'll focus on our upper body strength and add a little bit of weight if you want. And then I'm going to rotate. My palms are facing back and then palms up. Good. From here, I'm going to do some shoulder touches. So you may feel a little fatigue creeping into the shoulders. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. Good. So stretching out the elbows and bring those arms to the front again and shoulder touches. And let's do a 3rd one and then bring the arms out to this goalpost style. From here, we're going to rotate so that the forearms, as if they're resting on a table. Bring the arms back up and then bring them together in front of the body. I'll turn a little bit so you can still see me, see what I'm doing, see my face. I'm bringing the hands and the elbows together, keeping those elbows up. And from here, I'm going to do 3 lifts. 1 and 2 and 3. Good. Whew, I'm definitely feeling that through the shoulders. So let's do some shoulder rolls. We're going to roll them back, exaggerated circles. So bringing the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then let's do the reverse. Forward shoulder circles. Good. Excellent. Let's go ahead and extend those arms out in front, open up the upper back. So we're working on some posture muscles to loosen up all the muscles between the shoulder blades and higher. Inhale, exhale, maybe a little bit deeper. Good. And then we're going to bring the arms back. We'll do the opposite and open up the chest muscles. Good. So bring those arms back. Good. And then back to neutral. So relax everything. Maybe rotate through the wrists a little bit. From here, we're going to get a little upper body rotation. So I'm going to turn and watch my hand as it goes back. And I'm holding here, looking back over my shoulder, and then I'm bringing my arms back to neutral. So facing forward. Let's try the other direction. Nice and slow and controlled as your gaze goes over your shoulder and back. That's definitely a little trickier for me. Let's try that again and see which side feels more comfortable. So for me, this feels much better. Looking over my shoulder in one direction is much easier than in the other direction. So let's focus on the direction that's a little bit harder. So practice that a little bit more. Good. All right, again, I feel that fatigue creeping into my shoulders. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. So keep those arms down. Those arms are adding a lot of weight, especially if you hold them out for any length of time. You're really working on that shoulder endurance. So let's lift the shoulders up as if they were trying to touch the ears and then push them down. One more time, really lift those shoulders up and hold, and then push them down. Good. So I'm still sitting more towards the front of my chair. I have a lot of clearance between the front and the back of the chair if I lean back. So I'm not going to slump back, but I'm staying in that good posture. I'm going to cross my arms, and I'm going to unhinge from the hips. I'm leaning back and I'm feeling for the back of the chair. I feel it here. I'm not going to rest there. I'm going to hold and then come back up. So when I'm doing that, I suddenly feel myself bracing everything in the middle to hold myself up in a controlled way. So let's try that again. Leaning back, feeling for the back of the chair. There it is. I'm going to hold. I'm bracing myself in the middle, but I'm inhaling and exhaling the whole time, not holding my breath. Good. Let's try that a third time. Lean back and hold. 2, 3. Good. And then coming right back up. Let's extend those arms up towards the sky or the ceiling. If that doesn't feel comfortable, feel free to hold your elbows, or if lifting your arms up over your head is a little challenging, then go ahead and just hold on to your elbows here. What I'm trying to get at is that we're doing, and I'll do it from here so you can see my face, we're now getting a nice side body stretch. And I can feel that this is definitely challenging because my feet are closer together. If I give myself a little bit of a wider base of support, I'm going to get rid of some of the branches here, and there's some acorns. A wider base of support helps me as I lean to the side. And you're only doing, again, what feels comfortable for your body. I'm back in that neutral position, and then I'm leaning to the other side, feeling that whole side body stretch into the hip. Good. And back to the middle. So we've done a little rotation through the upper body. We've done some side body stretching. And let's go ahead and extend the legs and lean forward. When we do that, we'll get a nice stretch through the lower back, the glutes, and the hamstrings, so high up in the back of the legs. So leaning forward, so hinging forward. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. What's fun about being in the park is that there are people walking their dogs. Little dogs, big dogs. Let's go ahead and start with warming up the hips. We've really gotten a nice upper body warm up, some stretches, some strengthening already. So let's warm up the hips by marching in place. So I'm alternating. I'm lifting one leg, putting it down, and then the other leg, putting it down. So first one, then the other. Good. And then let's work a little bit on our leg endurance. I'm going to lift one leg and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Let's get to the other leg and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Good. And we're hearing birds? Yep. Okay. Still warming up the hip. I'm going to take one leg out to the side and then the other. Let's do that one more time. Let's work on warming up the knee by doing some heel digs. So I'm extending the leg, taking the heel, touching it to the floor, and then bending the leg. Extend the leg, touch the heel to the floor, and bend. Let's do that again on each side. Good. And then we'll do a little bit of strengthening by lifting, extending, and bending that knee. Keep that leg lifted. 2. And a third one, 3. You should be feeling this in the top of your leg as you're lifting that leg out, bending and lowering. Let's try that on the other side. Lift, extend, and hold. 2, 3, and bend and lower. Good. Let's try lifting, extending, flex that foot, and lift. 2, 3, bend and lower. Other leg, lift, extend, and we're flexing the foot, lift, 2, 3, and lower. Good. Let's go ahead and hug the knee. I know we're going to be standing up soon so that we can do some standing leg exercises. So just rotating through the ankles here, and let's try that on the other side. Good. So really getting the body warmed up and ready to stand up. So I'm going to push myself up, and I'm actually heading over to the tree here so that we can do a few exercises standing. So I'm holding on to something nice and solid. You want to do the same thing. If you have joined me for standing up, I'm going to do a little balancing on one leg as I take the outside leg and lift and lower. So the leg I'm standing on has a little bit of a bend, and the other leg I'm working on the quadriceps, so the top of the leg. And 3, and 4, and 5. Good. Then I'm going to take that same leg and bring the leg out to the side for 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Good. If you need to have a little rest, bringing both legs together, feel free to do that. So we worked on the front of the leg, the side of the hip, and now we're going to work on the back of the leg, so the hamstrings and the glutes. So I'm holding on here. I'm going to line up the knees, and I'm going to lift and lower. We'll go for 5, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Now one thing I'd like to do is to take that outside leg and bring it back so that I can stretch this hip. The front of the hip flexor gets tight from sitting, so I'm going to stand in this lunge position and bend the front knee a little bit more. So I'm holding here, feeling that stretch across the front of the hip, holding on the whole time. Only doing this if you feel secure in this stance. I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm going to take the outside arm and reach over. Again, doing that side body stretch, same thing that we did as we were sitting in the chair, only now we're standing. Good. So what we do to one side, we want to do to the other. So I'm going over, whoops, we're going to have to move the camera over a little bit, and now I'm on the other side. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm holding on. So I feel very secure and balancing on one leg. I'm going to lift and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Good. Now we're going to take that leg to the side. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we did the front of the leg. We're doing the hip area, and now we'll finish with lining up the knees, standing with that good posture, ears over shoulders, over hips, over knees, over ankles, and we lift and lower that leg so that we're now strengthening the back of the leg, the glutes. 3 and 4 and 5. We'll get that hip flexor stretch by bringing that leg back, feeling the stretch in the front of the hip from that leg that's extended back, that outside leg. I'm watching a squirrel scampering around here, wondering what's going on. And I'm going to take that outside arm and stretch towards the tree. So again, that nice side body stretch that goes all the way into the hip. Taking some deep breaths while I'm doing that. Good. And I think we'll finish up in the chair with a final stretch. So we did a nice hip flexor stretches. Let's work on the back of the legs again. We did this one also in the warm-up. We leaned forward, we were hinging forward. So what we didn't include was an upper body stretch as well. So if you feel comfortable reaching towards your thighs, your knees, or your shins, whatever is within reach, feel free to do that. And let's open and close the hands, roll through the wrists, and we're done for the lower leg exercises. Enjoy the view.